Want all right. Thank you and good evening. Welcome to Btv-Kenya. Welcome to News at 7. And in the news bulletin tonight, we have good news. We have series of news across the Republic of Kenya. Remember to keep tuned to BTV. Remember to keep tuned to Blackman TV Kenya. If you are following us, please, you can subscribe to us on Btv Kenya. That's on our YouTube page, and you can leave a comment so that we get to know where you are reaching or where we are reaching you from. You can also follow us on Facebook page, that is Blackman TV Kenya, and also remember to leave a comment so that we know where we are reaching you from. Once again, let me say welcome to this new year 2025. BTV Live brings you what happens in the Republic of Kenya and beyond. And this evening, I'm your host, Gagi Isaiah. Now, in brief, we'll get to know what we have for you in the news bulletin. News at 7 with Gagi Isaiah. Okay. Now, right on what we're having for you on the desk is that following the National Assembly Committee on appointments on Tuesday vetted the 3 nominees to the board, to the broad-based cabinet, Mutahi Kagwe, William Kabogo, and Lee Kinyanjui, who were nominated by the president to the position of Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, Information, Communication, and Digital Economy, as well as Investment and Trade and Industry, respectively.
Thank you. Now, Honorable Mutahi Kagwe, in less than 5 minutes, tell this committee who you are, your background, your education, and why you think you are suitable to hold office for which you have been nominated.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, members of the nominating committee. First and foremost, before I start, Mr. Chairman, let me just say that I want to say thank you. First, I would like to say thank you to God indeed, because that is why He is why we are here today. Secondly, I wish to take this opportunity to thank His Excellency, the President, for this appointment or nomination, which I hope will be approved by this committee. Thirdly, Mr. Chairman, I very briefly will say that, as I said, my name is Mutahi Kagwe. I was born in Nyeri County, and Mr. Chairman, if you allow, as I go along, I will give the reasons I'll tie up the reasons why I think I'm suitable for this job with my background. I went to primary school in a rural school in Nyeri, and I think that is where I started the journey to this discussion here today. Most of you will remember that in primary schools, or some of you will remember that in primary schools, we used to have what was called the 4K club. The 4K club is where we started our farming. Some of us went there, and Mr. Chairman, if you remember, the 4K clubs introduced us to agriculture. And that's why I picked my talent of planting trees and so on. Mr. Chairman, in my primary school.
My name is William Kaboko Getau, born in Komadai sub-county in Githunguri constituency. Went to primary school in Komadai, Kitito, Ruiru, did my CPE, and then joined Thika Technical High School. And in 1978, I left for India, and I did a bachelor's degree in commerce. Came back in 1983 and joined Controller and Auditor General as an audit assistant in Exchequer and Audit Office. A job that was a bit boring. Then I looked for a new job quickly, and I found a job in Mombasa as a business advisor for an NGO, where I rose from business advisor to executive director. Then come to 2002, it was the Uhuru time, the generation to join politics and lead Kenya. And at that point, I had become a businessman, an astute businessman, made a little bit of money. And I thought I would join the team, Mr. Speaker, to take the country to the next level. So I joined politics in 2002, August, was elected Member of Parliament for the larger Juja, which is today Juja, Ruiru, and Thika constituencies. Come the 2010 Constitution, Mr. Speaker, I decided to vie for a gubernatorial seat for Kiambu County. And I was successful, and I became the governor, first governor of Kiambu. And why I think, Mr. Speaker, this is a good job for me as ICT and digital economy minister is that I managed while at Kiambu to digitize the entire revenue collection in Kiambu County, taking our revenues from 800 million a year to 2.7 billion in 14 months. I also managed to digitize the health systems such that there would be seamless work by doctors in treating Kenyans in all our Kiambu hospitals. Also had developed management information systems for Kiambu County so that from a dashboard, Mr. Speaker, I would be able to know exactly what is happening in each of the ministries, the 10 ministries. So really, that gives me a head start on, because my view, Mr. Speaker, is that the job of a minister is that of a manager and a leader. And with a big background, I have learned management skills and I have practiced them. And so I am suitable for the job of Minister of ICT. And as Peter Drucker says, it's about doing things right and doing the right things, a combination of which will give you good start in management skills, Mr. Speaker. It's a long journey, Mr. Speaker, but I've tried to condense it. While coming in here, I read on the Twitter, how is this guy going to manage an ICT ministry, yet he doesn't have a computer? Mr. Speaker, I started using computers in 1992. They were green, and used the MS-DOS language, you know, you know, you'd do CD, change directory, move the etc., and write programs. So I'm well conversant with the technical aspect of ICT, but information technology, communication technology, and the gist of putting it together, that's what a minister requires to know.
Great. We'll ask Members to ask you questions. Members, let's try and cover in the allocated time. I'll start with the Deputy Speaker.
Honorable Kabogo, my question relates to the immediate challenges facing the world of technology, both here in Kenya and overseas, that I'd be more concerned about here in Kenya. You know that recently we've had cyber attacks targeted on critical government websites and government services. My question will be, I'd like to hear, if approved, how will your ministry ensure that we have resilience and rapid recovery of these government services when we do have those attacks? I also would like to hear what strategies you have to deal with the growing challenges posed by social media phenomena such as fake news, misinformation, disinformation. What strategies would you promote to ensure that we still uphold freedom of speech?
With that vetting of the nominees, we realized that it was very, very intense in the parliament today. Now, moving ahead on what we have is that head of the government delivery services, Dr. Peter Mbai, on Monday afternoon tendered his resignation to the head of public service, Felix Koskei. Mbai, who quit just under a year after his appointment, cited unresolved issues and unfavorable working conditions as the reasons behind his resignation.
I've worked in this government since January 2023. I was first appointed as Secretary of Investments Promotion, and I was appointed as head of Ministerial Delivery Unit in the Ministry of Investments, Trade and Industry. I was working under the CS, Moses Kuria. So we were moved to public service, where I was appointed head of programs when the minister was moved. And we did a lot of work in terms of Huduma Center, in terms of NYS. And one of the things we did, because performance and delivery was in the ministry, we went around 23 ministries, talking about achievements, talking about what they are planning to do, talking about the challenges. We literally visited the ministers and the PSs. So when I was appointed as a head of government delivery service, I thought they knew the kind of person I was, that I want work. I have no other reason. I don't live on salary. Me, I want to work because there are so many people who would want to be comfortable. But I knew this. I thought they knew. So we started to work. I got a team of 67. For your information, GDS has people across the country. We posted people in every county and in every ministry so that we can go check the work, because the work of the GDS is to track government projects and programs so that we can have value for money for the taxpayers. In each time a project is allocated money, we follow up, make sure if they are bottlenecks, we solve them. Now, one of the issues that came up, I was there, I've been appointed, and I went to my seniors and I told them this is how we want to structure delivery in the Republic of Kenya. Because we discovered there are so many offices, so many centers doing the same thing. And they said it's not possible. Because not unless we want to do this so that every office can feel they're doing something to please the head of state. I said, can we help the president in a better way? Can we corrupt all these small things, like 5 or 6, into one? I have the people, we're able to work so that we can deliver. Now, a lot of what I proposed was not done. There is a lot of structural issues, many issues about, you're supposed to work. What happens? The issue of the working issues and other issues. In short, there's been a lot of frustrations, and I don't want my name. I have a history. I have a record where I've come from for the last 10, 20 years, where I've worked before in my county of Nakuru. What I've done, I don't want to come and mess it here because I got a job. If the work cannot be done, I don't want to be associated, because what will happen, one day somebody will ask me, why didn't you deliver? Then I'll say I had issues. They will ask me, why didn't you say then?
Okay, that news on head of government deliveries bring us to the third news of the day. That is, Aldai Member of Parliament Marianne Kitany, speaking to her constituents on Monday, threatened to file a censure motion against public Service Cabinet Secretary Justin Muturi after he criticized President William Ruto's administration for failing to solve abductions. Now, she called on Muturi to resign instead of criticizing the government he is working for.
Kweli rongo. Na kwa hiyo cabinet ndio mahali maneno yote ya Kenya inaongelelewa. Wewe ukiwa minister, attorney general siku hiyo, kwa nini hukuenda kwa hiyo cabinet useme juu ya hiyo mtoto yako na watoto wengine wa Kenya? Kwa nini hukusema? Ukikuja uchukue hii mambo ya media, ukuje uongee kwa media. Sasa unataka Mkenya afanye nini? Kama wewe cabinet hawezi ongea huko kwa president, unataka Mkenya afanye nini? Sio ni kukosa heshima ya president yetu jamani? Ni kukosa heshima na hiyo ofisi inaitwa cabinet. Sinio ni kukosa heshima, hata wacha statement. Hiyo ni kukosa heshima ya hiyo ofisi. Hiyo ofisi iko na heshima yake, iko na nidhamu yake. It is the highest decision making organ in the Republic of Kenya. Kama mtoto alikuwa abducted, alafu akarilisiwa, kuna kitu inaitwangwa kuenda kuripoti kwa police station. Kutoka hiyo miezi 6 tangu siku hiyo aliyekuwa abducted na kurudishwa paka saa hii hujaenda kuripoti kwa police station. Unataka nani akufanyie hiyo kazi? You are the minister for public, meaning hao watu wote in short wana report kwako. Ukikuja kwa media kutuambia kwa press na wewe ndio minister ya hao watu, hiyo ni kusema nini? Si umekosa kazi yako? Umeshindwa na kazi? So bado unafanya nini kwa hiyo ofisi? Wewe ujiuzulu, kuja ongea huku nje kama raia mwema. Ushike microphone kama raia mwema ukiongelesha ukigonga hiyo serikali. Lakini huwezi gonga serikali ukiwa ndani yake. Haiwezekani. Kama huwezi heshimu serikali yenye unaifanyia kazi. Mimi kama mjumbe kazi yangu ni kitu inaitwa oversight. Ninakuambia wewe ujiuzulu, na usipojiuzulu mimi nitapeleka motion bunge ya kusensha wewe.
We move on to news or still on abduction issues. That is Tanzanian activist and media editor Maria Serungi Sehai, who was abducted in Kilimani, Nairobi on Sunday afternoon and released later, now opened up about frightening details of her abduction.
It turned out without public pressure. One of the indications that I got was I was asked whether I have a husband. So I immediately knew that there was something that relating to my husband that they suddenly are interested. The other question that I got was, what do I do exactly? But every time I wouldn't answer, I would tell them that when you abducted me, what information do you have about me? And they really didn't like the word abduct. So they kept telling me, we did not abduct you. And I said, what you're doing is abduction. I didn't get to see their faces. There's one of them, I know that when they were taking me, I looked into his face, but he was wearing a mask and a cap. I saw only his eyes. The others I didn't see. But I think my sense tells me that they were younger, based on the voice and the way they're young, the ones behind, and the ones in front, unfortunately, I've not been able to interact with. I would really like to take this opportunity to thank people. And as I said, primarily I would like to thank you, international media, but I also like to thank individuals in Tanzania and in Kenya who have spoken up. I've not been able to see everything. I just was briefed. I'm aware that people like God bless Lema and Tundu Lissu and Mnyika, some of the politicians in Tanzania, have spoken up. I'm also aware that there have been a number of individuals who have done a lot of activism in terms of calling people but I also want to thank a lot the government and the embassies of the EU delegation and the US. And of course, I would like to thank all the human rights associations in Kenya, including Amnesty International, Amnesty Kenya, Law Society of Kenya.
To BTV, that news about the Tanzanian activist that is brings us this evening, and we would like to tell you that please keep tuned to Btv Kenya, keep tuned to Blackman TV Kenya. If you're following us, please follow us on YouTube page, that is Btv Kenya. You can also follow us on Facebook page, Blackman TV Kenya. Remember, Btv Kenya, your home live television. You can also get more of what we are doing by just visiting our YouTube pages, and we'll give you much and more. Remember, we have come to an end, but let me also remind you that every morning we are here to bring you a vibrant morning where we do newspaper review. We'll give you what is in the newspaper, and we also have other different programs ranging from hot seat, Brudadi Extra. We also have a lifestyle. You can also visit our page and follow. We also bring you live streaming of what's happening across the Republic of Kenya. In case you have missed, remember, you are free to visit our pages. That is our YouTube page, Btv Kenya, and our Facebook page, Blackman TV Kenya, and get all those services. And also remember, we offer services such as live streaming of video services. If you have an event and you want live streaming video coverage, we are there for you. If you want video and photography, we will give you the best. Always remember to keep tuned to BTV and much more. You need advertising of your products, BTV is here to give you the best. With much and less, let me hope to see you tomorrow. Keep tuned to BTV. Thank you so much. I'm with you, Gagi Isaiah.